Welcome to No Budget. I am Milo Dennison. As always, Miss Claire Milan is sitting on the end of the sofa.
Hello.
And as a replacement for Adrian Heffernan, who is out watching sports and getting drunk tonight, we have Andrew Leahy.
Well played, Milo. Well played.
You're welcome. What do you got for us? Let's get to filmmaking.
Yes.
Let's stop with this idle chit chat.
So I want to talk about film festivals and is it worth spending a lot of money entering all these festivals? Like what festivals should you enter? Which ones are good to enter? Like I know a lot of filmmakers have spent a fortune just randomly sending off their films to everything in the hope that their film will get noticed and picked up. So it's certainly can be quite expensive, especially for a low to no budget film if you want to get out there. So what do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with festivals is there's a handful of festivals that you have the potential of picking up distribution in. South by Southwest, Cannes, I'm sure there's Sundance, all those kind of things.
Is
the bigger
it potential?
That's the thing, the potential. You still might not get picked up by a distributor.
Aren't the odds really high you're not? Well, first of all, are it's really high that you're not going to get admission to the festival, period?
Yeah. So first you got to get into the festival, which is a big festival, right? And you're competing against a billion other filmmakers out there nowadays. So you have to make the greatest film. You got to get in, and then you got to get picked up by a distributor. And anymore, I was reading an article about this recently, and they were talking about how a lot of distributors are going into these film festivals and just lowballing offers for films. And basically saying, hey, we'll distribute your thing, we'll pay you this amount of money. And the filmmaker's like, that barely covers my cost of making the film.
I remember when Lionsgate picked up Blair Witch Project, because I think that was, I think that premiered in, it might have been Sundance, but I'm probably totally wrong. But I remember Lionsgate approached them and basically just offered them $100,000 for the film. And look how much that film grossed in the end, and how well it did. And it was one of the best distribution packages ever formulated by Lionsgate in the sense that they profited immensely from it.
Did the makers get a portion of that?
They got the $100,000.
That's it.
What
They didn't get a percentage on
I don't
the
know
back
what
end.
they got in percentage on back end, but that was part of that article that I had read was the discussion of discussing back end percentages, which tend to be lowballed.
That's it, because the indie filmmakers we're just so desperate to get our stuff out there that you take anything and it's like, oh yeah, please.
See, they probably didn't realize that would be a massive success. So they might have made nothing after that, but it was probably unusual that something like low budget did take off so well.
Yeah, I mean it does happen, but and that's the big ones, right? So the rest of the film festivals, it's just getting a little icon that you can throw on your poster and be like, yeah, I won a festival.
Like our one,
Like
we
ours,
we made a short film called The Social Experiment, and it won an award down in Wexford, small little festival, and I did get a mug and a poster, and well, we got a mug and a poster.
Yes.
You've been sharing the poster.
No.
Yes, well, I shared.
He gets
I'll
it
bring
on
it
Tuesdays
in.
and Thursdays
Yeah.
and every other weekend?
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, I directed it, but she wrote it, so.
I'll bring it in. You can frame it. You can put it up here.
We should put that actually on the set
Actually,
here.
yeah,
That actually
I
would be
must
a good idea. We need to decorate our set.
Do you know what? It gives you confidence as a filmmaker, and a writer. It's someone has seen it and someone has said, right, I want to give this award to something. Now, I might only want to get out against maybe 3 or 4 other people, but it does give you that bit of boost of confidence, like someone is recognizing your work, and just for future reference,
Here's my theory. Like, if you've got the money to pay the entry fees to all these festivals, great, go for it. And 2, if it makes you happy, do it. Why not? More power to you.
Like I know awards can be political as well, as we know the Oscars are. But I definitely think it's good to get recognition, and it does put a stamp of approval, and it does give you confidence. Doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think you kind of mentioned the Oscars there. Then you get into the Oscars where it's literally just a bunch of people making films for the sole purpose of winning an Oscar versus making a good film because they want to make a good film.
But although, see, Benjamin Cleary with Stutterer, now I saw Stutterer in Galway months before anyone heard about it, and I was just blown away by it. Just the simplicity of it, how stunning it was filmed, and the writing. And it's opened so many doors for him winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like, that must have been just unbelievable. So in that respect, it was amazing.
You have to ask yourself, though, what led to that win? You know, earlier we were talking about politics, and there's politics that led to that win.
You're right.
You know, and the Oscars are filled with that politics. I mean, look, alone, most recent discussions about the Oscars in the last few years have been racially motivated aspects of where there isn't enough black actors or black films, or and you don't see it as much on the BAFTA side, but I think that maybe might be an unspoken thing also that exists, where there isn't enough minority representation in film in Hollywood, that people kind of, you know, they come out of the woodwork and try to pick something to make it work. And it makes you wonder sometimes about these films, even if they are stunningly beautiful, what's to say that the independent filmmaker that's on the other side of the wall hasn't made something absolutely stunning and beautiful and wonderful and deserves recognition, but because they don't know so-and-so, they weren't politically brought into the loop, and I guess subsequently filtered to win an Oscar.
Like a lot of films never get seen light of day, like never get like huge distribution, and they could be the most amazing films. But it's business and it's politics, isn't it?
I will honestly admit, I did not watch a single film that was nominated for an Oscar this year, and I'm totally okay with that because they all look like shit films, and I have no interest in seeing them. It's like, oh, okay, here's this film that we did because we want to win an Oscar, and okay, great.
But I must say, Moonlight, that we did win, was actually terrific.
It might be.
It was amazing.
And don't get me wrong, I love Denzel Washington. I think I am a huge fan.
He's
of
not
him.
in it.
No, he's not in Moonlight, but he's in Fences. Denzel Washington.
Was that even nominated? Was
yes,
that nominated?
Fences was
nominated. Okay.
For fuck's sake, guys. To my point, Fences was nominated. Denzel Washington film. He's a great actor. I love Denzel Washington, but that film looks like the most boring thing on the planet. And one of the sequences that they showed is you've got, black woman with snot running down her robe, like, you can't put me down kind of thing, and
That's,
it's like,
what's her name? Isn't
yeah,
it?
but it's
Kate
like,
Winslet.
let's cater so hard to winning this award that we're going to make a film for this purpose, not because we actually care about this film. If they really cared about the film, they wouldn't make it for the sole purpose of like getting being placed out at the exact time in order to actually get into the Oscars.
Right.
And it's bullshit. Okay.
What about?
Well, we got to take a break.
Okay.
Okay, you were about to say something before we cut you off there?
Yeah. What about how the Oscars and BAFTA has become, or Golden Globes, any of the awards, it's become a grandstanding for political aspects where people get up there, and I've noticed that like you don't see, so especially with the recent events of Brexit and Trump, you don't see anyone stepping up in these award ceremonies speaking out in positivity towards Trump or towards Brexit. You see everyone that's on the liberal side stepping up and speaking out towards that aspect of how they dislike this new conservative regime and they don't appreciate that we're leaving the EU. These things, I think, are also politically motivated within the award system where they want those people to grandstand. It makes you wonder, like, how political are these people that they're putting up on the stage on purpose for whatever reason that they want to spin their angles for.
So you think they put, what's her name?
Meryl Streep?
Yeah, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep,
So
yeah.
you think they put her up there in order to give her an opportunity to say that stuff, in order to...
I think that 100% she was probably working with a few people to actually give that speech on purpose.
Because they knew she has a voice and she's like the queen of Hollywood.
Yeah, and
so
she resonates amongst women in America, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these things, especially on the liberal side of the media, where you see people like Meryl Streep step up onto the stand in award ceremonies, I think that they wholeheartedly are being put up there to be the face of that liberal environment.
It's funny because Emma Stone tried to do the same thing at the BAFTAs, but she was stumbling. And it's like as if she was feeling a bit uncomfortable early saying some of the stuff. Maybe she was. Maybe she was coerced into doing it. Was she?
Speaking of, like, I'm sorry, I did not think La La Land was anything worth. I really like
Also a great
Fences.
film.
I thought
It wasn't. It wasn't. the Oscar-worthy film, I don't think.
No, not in the least bit.
But it's
like,
a film made, celebrating classic Hollywood musicals.
I don't think
so
it is.
Hollywood.
It's not.
I disagree with that too.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I think Ryan Gosling. I'm sorry, I know you ladies love him and he's eye candy and all, but I think he's a shit actor.
Thank
I really
you.
do.
I say that too, and every time I say that, they look at me like I'm some kind of asshole.
Yeah, because
And
like
it's
he's a gorgeous man. Like
yeah, but
I get that.
He has like no charisma. Like I would imagine if he walked into a room, like he'd suck the charisma out of it. Well, except for all the girls would be like Ryan. But, like the guy is so bland.
He is very bland. And what was that film that he did a few years ago? The one that was in Thailand.
Drive?
Was it Drive? No,
that
Drive was bad too because he never spoke in
I
Drive.
know nothing happened, and it's like it's an action flick, and I'm like, no, it's not.
It's great music though. Yeah, the music made it. Yeah. So.
So you're a fan of Drive then?
I love the music in it. Yeah, I like Carey Mulligan. I think she's a terrific actress.
But did you like Ryan Gosling?
But he wouldn't have been amazing. He was obviously mute in it. So, but he's not the most amazing actor in the world. He doesn't.
No, not at all. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think back to The Notebook, The Notebook is something that it was a beautiful love story in a lot of ways, and it was very well written in that sense. But like he did nothing in it except for take his top off. Like, and to me, that's no worse than Halle Berry selling her breasts on film. Who also I think is a shit actress.
Oh, I like Halle Berry.
No, what was your favorite film that Halle Berry?
The one where she took her top off.
Okay, good.
Should we move on, or
Sure.
should we insult more actors? Should we insult more people that are way more famous than us? Who else do we hate? Kevin Costner.
That's a question. Do we do this for fame?
No, I think we do the show because, no.
Not no budget. Do we do things in film?
I mean, because we're never going to become famous from doing this show. Like, I think we do this because we just like films, and and we like talking about films, and as filmmakers, we like to pass our
as
knowledge
filmmakers,
off. Yeah.
though, I mean, do you do what you do in film because you desire fame? Do you do it because you desire money? Do you do it because you desire the Oscar or the BAFTA or the award or the mug and the poster?
I do think if you're chasing that fame thing, it fizzled out very quickly because you need the stamina, you need the passion, you need the drive to continue in this industry and to create stuff.
That's definitely true.
So if you're just doing it for fame, you won't last. You just won't.
Yeah, when many years ago, I attempted to make a living as an actor, and then I kind of did it. I wanted to be a top tier, big budget action star kind of thing.
Why though?
Not because of the fame, but to be remembered. So like I have this thing, everybody lives and dies, right? And think about the billions of people who have died on this planet that nobody knows who they ever were.
What makes you think, though, that becoming that famous actor in that period of time will continue to immortalize you?
Well, think of dead actors now. Like, there's tons of dead actors. Not even that. Like, I initially became, because I loved it. Like, when I did my first stage play in high school, and it was like, oh, this is it. This is me. And to be honest, I was such a snob about it. I really wasn't looking to be famous because I wanted to be a stage actor because real actors were stage actors.
I love stage. I did stage because I wanted to create art. So when I first started doing stage acting, I was in primary school, and then I moved into doing it in secondary school, where I would do a play probably twice a year, and maybe some summer stock stuff. And then I got into college, and I started to do that as well. But the reason why I did it in entirety, and I think I owe everything to a drama school teacher when I was in primary school, was to create something that was artistic, that was creative, that encapsulated not only the stage, the crew, but also the audience, that everybody became part of this piece of art that was, wonderful for that moment. And the beauty about stage is that moment always changes.
Well, that's much better than my answer. If I just wanted to be famous, I like it.
But what's interesting? To be a writer, filmmaker, actor, you have to really like people. Like, not like people, but be very interested in people.
Really?
I definitely think you do. Because if you analyze anything, you're creating something, you're writing something, you're filming something, you have to be interested in people and different lives, different perspectives, and to create a film, don't you?
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have an opinion on the Oscars or anything else that we talked about, feel free to leave it in the comment below. We might respond to it, we might not. But with that, we'll see you again next month.